What's up, everybody? And welcome to Touching Tornadoes. If this sounds good, then great. If it sounds like crap, you probably never hear this again because I'll just press delete and try again with something new. So anyways, right now you're in the studio. I'm going to call it Studio 1A. This is going to be it, finally. You'll probably get a lot more shows because of all the commuting I do to and fro, which is just a fancy way to say from here to there. And I drive, an hour one way to work every day and an hour home typically. And I'm alone because although many people want to work with me, the money's just not in it. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of money in it. So although the hang would be great, I get that a lot. It would be great to hang with you, but just got to make some more money, That's it, too. That's what people are out doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what you should be doing. If you're not, get on it. We got to have it. So get some frickin' stacks, dude. Get some bands. Get your bands up. How many bands do you have? I heard that in some of my hip-hop jingles. How many bands? I got about 100 bands, dog. Shit. So, on the last show, which on YouTube you've had it for a while, it had a copyright violation because I played Macklemore at the beginning of it. Just a song about money. But anyways, on the last episode, I told you that I'm coming down from another episode, and the thing was, it was just a manic. So I'm fighting like hell to not go down into the other side of that, and a lot of that is for me personally when the fear. I shouldn't use that word. The journey down is only because of the guilt that I had from what I did when I was high, if that makes sense. And the sad thing is it's not getting high, it's just that I got triggered and I couldn't control it, and I didn't have the right medication at the time to keep me from going into psychosis. And not too bad a psychosis, but there were some delusions and some hallucinations, for sure, now that I'm getting on the other side of it and can reflect on it. Now, luckily, it wasn't my first time, if you can say that that's lucky. But, you know what, I'm just getting better at it. But, luckily, the list was a lot shorter of... Because before, when I had a mania, this list of frickin' rights that I had, or wrongs that I had to right, or whatever, lefts that I had to correct, or whatever, lefts that I had to right, corrects that I had to wrong, or however you want to say it. That list was really big. That was my whole life. I felt like I died when I first got hit with when my breaker blew, my first mania. I felt like I died, and each subsequent time that I've gotten into full-blown mania where I don't sleep and I'm highly righteous, like I'm a child. Not only am I a child of God, which I believe we all are, but I'm a warrior of God. I become a warrior of God, a crusader. And this reality that you exist in with me, this real reality, becomes less important to me when I'm in mania as the spiritual truth that you can feel like you can almost see within a person. You can almost talk to their soul. And it's a weird thing, and it's not necessarily true or untrue. It's wrong, or right or wrong. It's just this weird place that you change into, and it's scary for me because this last manic trip I had, in my righteousness, like I said, you're cool. Sorry, there's a construction fella in front of me. It's blocking traffic. So it's cool. We got construction friends, and we got friends in everywhere. Got a guy for that. So what I'm saying is, to keep myself from going down, I'm doing everything I can. This video, part of it, because when I got manic and I was in my righteous thing on this last piece, I would go to basically any of the towns or municipalities that I would find myself in, and I was driving all over the place in between Kansas City, Kansas, and down to Prague, Oklahoma. So any towns, including like Topeka, Emporia, my town, my hometown, down to Oklahoma City, I'd put myself in a position where I was exercising. I would find a way to go for a run in each of those towns, almost find an excuse and a reason, and felt like the whole world was watching me. Felt like I was on camera the whole time, and like everybody knew. You know what I mean? Every place I went, I felt like I was monitored. And it was intense, because then it'd be like I felt like my workouts were being monitored, and I felt like I was being protected and guarded by angels or something, and then so I could do and be anywhere. And I felt like it was real literal, and that's where I was saying, like, when I was in that state of mind, it seemed as if I was able to communicate with the world on this spiritual level rather than on like just the human level or whatever. And it was weird because you cross between the two. And that got me into this weird quantum thinking and quantum jumping, and is that what I'm doing? And you know what I mean? It just gets all fucked up in your head, man. So I was manic though, but what people don't, so then you screw over the people that not screw them over. I'm more like, for my wife, I took her busyness and which there is this lack of attentiveness to our marriage that we both contribute to, but the hard part is telling someone that it hurts your feelings, that you feel like they're not attentive to your needs. And that can go for both of us, but if we're not saying it, how do we know that we're missing it? Maybe we don't know how to say it. So my wife, I took her not saying it and us not moving forward, which as more like us not moving forward, in my opinion. She can think that that everything's perfect because I don't know how to say it, that I'm not having some sort of need met. You know what I'm saying? So and I still don't necessarily know how to say it. But instead of working on myself and how to say it, I got clicked into mania, and within that mania, I put it on her shoulders as she's having an affair. She must be, because, why else would she not know what I need? You know what I'm saying? Like, big time thumbs down on that, but that's, unfortunately, when you go into I keep saying you. Unfortunately, when I go into a mania, it's those people that I'm closest, that I have closest to me, that I'm probably gonna try to do my best to make sure that they're like perfect. Like, because that's what you're trying to be when you become a warrior of God, is you're trying to become perfect. And so when I'm out running, I'm picking out the worst neighborhoods, and I'm taking notes in my mind about like how the city's treating these people, and how it's just so exhausting and dangerous and scary when I look back at where I was at, and you'd go, and then like I'd run barefoot, and I'd run through asphalt that was fucked up and hot, and I didn't feel pain really, or I craved it. And I wasn't sleeping, and I was like going from motel to motel, but part of me felt like I was this, maybe I'm not a soldier of God. If it's not divine, then what is it? Maybe I'm part of this test operation where they made like the perfect soldier and I got to go perform. That was another one that I had in this last mania. Like, it switched from, not only are you this warrior of God, and that's what got you to this physical place that you're at, that's what you've been training for your whole life, but no, you're not just that. You are, in addition to that, this test subject, this abused orphan that then got adopted into what is my family, and then once adopted into that family, had tests put on me through my dad's Air Force military and became a universal soldier. That was legitimately one of my delusional realities that I felt like I was in over my past mania. And so the people that I talked to, I thought that they'd known it. You know what I mean? Either that, or they were from, like, my brother, my first mania, and I thought they knew that I had died. Don't they realize I had died and had been reincarnated? You know, and so, like, everything that I would say was a test back when I'm manic to see how their loyalty to me, and, like, the truth that I actually am this thing. Not that I'm God, but are they loyal to the truth that I am this thing? I'm not that other Conrad. You know what I mean? So the scariest thing is that I'll put myself in such a, run myself so ragged that that authorities have to approach me. Even if I kind of smartened up a little and, like, would make sure that I'm at least wearing running gear, because that's what I was trying to prove a point in the first one, wearing, like, rags, but I was wearing running gear, but I still get approached because I'd be bleeding or have a shoe off or picked up a frickin' broken thing. So it's terrifying to go manic for me. The energy and all the stuff that people talk about is all true. You should see some of the things I'm physically capable of when in that mind state. But the scary part is what you don't know is that other side where my mind takes me to go out to be like some sort of fucking superhero. And unfortunately, we live in this culture that doesn't recognize that as I'm trying to save myself. And instead, if they think I'm too fucked up, they're just gonna shoot me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the scary part. I'm not gonna get hurt by the homeless people that I'm running around and giving my money to, and I'm not gonna get hurt on the streets by some sort of fucking gangster and shit. I'm gonna get, what would happen if somebody doesn't save me is, if I don't save myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, a cop's gonna shoot me because he's not gonna know that I have this mental condition. He doesn't know, and so he's gonna listen and think and then shoot me because cops don't like superheroes. And that's why it's fucking frightening, because I know the enemy that I have, and I did everything I could to be like this. I'm almost like, I give cops, because it's like I instinctively know that the one that's going to hurt me the most is that. Not because I'm going to hurt anybody else, because I never would. I never have. Not physically. I go away. I run away. I do that to myself. You know what I mean? If I felt that urge, whatever that people that can't control that, punch holes through walls or need to scream in pillows, I go get that out on a track. I go to a track and I lock the gate I wrestle the demon that's inside of me by running like as hard as I can. Running stairs, running sprints, running it out of me. Literally exercising the demon or dancing on the devil if it happens to be the mascot that I had. So that's the way that I have tried to cope when I couldn't get help, because I didn't know how to ask. And this last time I didn't know how to ask, and I wasn't sure I was there. But I was, like I said, in that other episode, I was on the wrong medication. I didn't have the stuff to keep me grounded. And so now I got it, I'm almost a month in, if not a month in, on my meds, or getting, maybe not, I don't know, a couple weeks. It's the time if you know what I'm saying, then you know that time doesn't work the same for us. It's too hard, and it's never worked for me. So anyways, and I don't expect it to work for me, but I want to do the show. Like, this is good for me and I don't give a shit. Like, the thing is, it's what is frustrating about the whole process. The fact that I did a podcast for 15 years is what kept me amongst the reels. If people knew how many notes I took, thousands and thousands. People talk about writing in your journal every day. I wrote in my journal every day. And my journal was just the list that I would do a podcast with my friends on. But I'd write a list of topics that I wanted to talk about because they confused me or intrigued me or pissed me off or scared me. And then most of it was personal stuff about my life. It's like I went to therapy and then once my therapy stopped, once my friends stopped, once that went out of my life, boom, I'm gone. I can't get it back. I'm crazy now, or whatever. Like, that kept me grounded enough. But I pushed myself too far in that life. And, I got to where I'm at, where I need the meds to help me out. Because the cork has been uncorked, dog. That bitch is open. So, here we are. And I'm okay with it now. Like, it hurt. Fuck, it hurt. For lots of weird reasons. And you don't even understand the reasons. But where I was going with that is, one of the biggest things, this hurdle that people want to, this imaginary hurdle that people want to put in place of me, is like, well, you just got to talk and talk it out. It's like, fuck you, I've been talking. I got talk therapy. Damn, dog. I'll talk. And if you think I'm embarrassed, listen. You know what I'm saying? Go back and listen. I've been talking about this shit. I've been open book for basically my entire adult life. And now that shit, maybe it meant nothing. Maybe it means everything. But I'm prepared. It prepared me for this. To be open to you. And in those that need it. And understand that, yeah, dude, there's another one of you out there. You're not alone. All that kind of shit that's cliche and warms your fucking heart when you need it. Everybody's an asshole. That's what people need to understand. Everybody's a know-it-all fucking prick. And because of that, everybody's shady as hell. And because of that, you don't even want to tell people that, your phone is like, what are you reading on your phone? I'm reading affirmations so I don't, lose my shit. I'm reading that this one says that I'm good enough. I'm kind of letting that soak in. Nobody sent it to me. It's an app I got to pay $70 a year for because nobody tells me that. So, you know what affirmations are? Affirmations are what the people around you are supposed to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's supposed to say, you look good today. Somebody's supposed to tell you, man, you're fucking smart. That's a good idea. That's great. I'm glad you're a good guy. You're smart. You can do it. But sometimes you don't live in a world where that happens to you very often. And when you're in that world, you pay $70 a month for I am affirmations, and then people that, then people make fun of it and ask you why you're spending your money on it. But my goal is to somehow be surrounded by people who I love and I I try to give them affirmations. I tell them I love them every day. I tell them that they look beautiful and that they look cool and that their hair is nice and that what do they want? I'll do anything, and I try to show it to them. And so I'm hoping that at some point my actions will be noticed by mimicry instead of somebody people not noticing them, thinking that they know it all. But like I said, everybody's a fucking know-it-all. So what do I know? I guess I'm proud to be one of the know-it-alls that's smart enough to know it all enough to say I don't know fucking shit. So that's it, everybody. It's a short episode right now. I'll probably be back later because I got to drive home still. But all right. With that being said, don't let your meatloaf, don't go touching no tornadoes. All right, peace.